September 27th, 1983. Dear God, I'm Mia, one of your many human beings on this planet Earth. I've got something to confess. I've not been living up to my full potential as a Christian lately. What's so bad is that I haven't done a single thing to perfect or change that. I'm not good little Mia anymore. God, how I wish I could go back, but I'm afraid I've done something that makes me unable to be forgiven.
I was 3 years older than Mia. She was a Spitfire. She just got into everything. And then I moved out, and toward the end, she ended up living with me. It was wonderful. You know, it's different because it's your sister, you've known her, you grew up with her all her life. And she was just great big personality. She was beautiful. She was my best friend. She was almost my twin.
How long has it been, like 30 years?
33.
33 years, and my mom still gets messages from like people saying, hey, I knew Mia, like she was amazing, and it's weird.
Yeah.
Like it's still, like the fact that she still has an impact on people 33 years later is insane. Like that, I feel like shows the kind of person she was.
Mia was diagnosed with glomerulonephritis when she was about 9 years old, 10 years old. And that they wanted to take her out of school and out of dancing, and she had a fit. And the doctor said, Mia, if you promise me you'll slow down, if something doesn't feel right, you'll sit down. So he'd had a talk with the teachers and her dancing teacher and felt that mentally maybe we should try letting her in class. So we did. And Mia fought that disease. And she was really coming out of it. I mean, she had took medicine, and she was really doing really well.
Good.
And then one day she stopped in the afternoon, and she said, Mom, you know, I think I'm getting that back. And I said, you're 18 years old. You have to go to the doctor. And mother, just the mother instinct, I thought, is she pregnant?
We dated, I think it was just under a year. You know, being young kids, she was a beautiful girl. I thought we got along fine. There were, at times, it may have been a little volatile, not where a physical volatile, but you know, she had a temper, and I guess I would have a temper too at that age. But nothing. I mean, it was a good relationship for a year.
I went out window shopping at a baby store. I really felt like being a mommy. I saw another customer look at my stomach. I almost cried. I thought of Eric constantly. I wanted to make love with him so bad. I went to a phone booth and called him to see if he maybe wanted to go for a ride or just to talk. He said he had other things to do. I choked up and said a quiet goodbye. Where is his affection? Maybe with another girl.
My parents got divorced, it had to be around 82, and they were divorced for about a year. I think it was around then. And my mom became involved with this man. His name was Mike. And I guess they were trying to get a hold of me to have dinner with all of them. But, you know, I was busy, I was working, I didn't have the time, so I just blew him off. Well, the next day I was trying to get a hold of Mike because he was part of this medical group I was working for. So I kept calling and calling and calling. He would never answer. So my mom called me in the afternoon and said that he had died. He was killed in a car accident. And, you know, I was devastated, more for her and just sad. Later, she tells me that he took his life. He committed suicide by driving his car in front of a semi because he had terminal cancer. And it seems like that was almost like the beginning of what transpired.
I have a neighbor that committed suicide as well, and Mia and I were actually at my house when I kind of found out, and they were having some things, some gathering at the neighbor's house. And when I mentioned what had happened, Mia went cool, or that's kind of cool, something to that effect. And at the time, it kind of struck me as odd, but not to the fact that that may have set her mind in motion how she was going to do it.
It's strange because about 6 weeks before, she stopped by the house. She'd been bicycling and she stopped by the house for lunch, and the subject of death came up. And she said, "Dad, you've got to promise me that you won't let Mom bury me. I want to be cremated." And I said, "Mia, what are you talking about?" And she said, "Well, it's important to me, Mom. These things, we need to talk about them. And I want to be cremated."
Eric and I both knew the outcome of our situation when we first talked about me being pregnant. We never talked about it after that. I'm sure we both wanted to, but we were so damn scared. We simply overlooked it for a really long time. Here's the icing on the cake. I aborted our baby, God. I'm so sorry. I was so sorry for even thinking it. We told each other we had no choice. It was terrible. I can remember every single thing the doctor did. I could feel the life just being pulled from my body. Well, that's the heavy list of my confessions for today. You know what, God? I really am sorry.
I didn't know about the pregnancy till after she had an abortion. She confided in me. We were in the bathroom putting on our makeup, and she finally confided. She goes, "Mindy, I had an abortion." And I was shocked. She never let on. She was 3.5, almost 4 months pregnant. And so I don't know who gave her or where she went, but it devastated her. She was very, but she told me after the fact.
I don't know, I'm sure she had some very deep thoughts. Obviously, she had some very deep thoughts about that, but they were never really expressed to me. And my immaturity kind of just had moved on in a sad way, I guess, you know, thinking back at it. But there was no real conversation where she said, "You know, I wish I had it." You know, I think she wanted to go to school, and that would have got in her way.
And of course, we knew nothing about it. She went to a clinic.
And she didn't believe in abortion.
She would have marched against abortion. So her to do that, her description of it was, "I've killed my baby." And she illustrated in the journal by even showing a picture of a mother looking into a crib. So she was devastated. And of course, after that, I'm sure her spirits had devastated what she had done to herself and her relationship, and she was all alone. We found out later that Eric, I guess, had taken her to the abortion clinic, dropped her off, and left.
Oh God, help me. Today, I seriously thought of taking my life. I'm almost surprised I haven't done it yet. It's like there's too much going on and there isn't anyone for me to really be open with. I feel like I'm going to burst. My walls are way too high. I'm closing myself in.
Got a call from Mrs. Vihel, and basically kind of frantic, asked me if I've seen Mia and to that effect, and I think she may have mentioned she jumped off the bridge or something like that. Finished the conversation, and I hung up the phone, and then within minutes got a call from, I think it was a highway patrolman, you know, asking me kind of same question, when was the last time I've seen her, and this, that, and the other, and answered his questions, hung up the phone. And probably one of the biggest mistakes I've did in my life was, at that time, I went back to sleep.
Came home one night after work, and all my clothes that she borrowed and my jewelry were on my bed. And I thought it was weird. And I knocked on her door. I thought she was home. Her bedroom was completely clean. And she used to have clothes all over the floor. And I wrote this long letter. I said, Mia, when you get home, I don't care what time it is, please wake me up. Oh, and I also came home to, there's a picture, this picture of her and I as little girls. I don't know where she got the picture, but she had it in that frame on our coffee table. So 4 o'clock in the morning, the phone was ringing and I answered it, and it was my dad. And he goes, Mindy, is Mia home? And I go, yeah, I think she is. And I could hear my mom screaming, like a blood-curdling scream. Went in Mia's bedroom, she's not there. So I went outside to look, see if her car was there. Wasn't there. And he just said, Mindy, come straight home. I need you here. The police found Mia's car on the Coronado Bridge. They found the car, they found her purse, they found her Bible, and the car was running and the door was open. But I kept denying that, oh, it probably wasn't her, until the coroner. There was a white van and they showed up, and all of a sudden my friend goes, Mindy, and he hugged me, and I go, is that the coroner? And he said, yes. And the guy comes up, and it was my parents and Marlo and I, and we were in there in this one room. It's called, it was a little family room, and they sat down with us, and he gave us her watch, one earring, and a necklace. It had an M and a diamond in it that my parents gave her for her birthday. He went ahead and sorry. He saw it was her, and he did not want us to view the body. I guess being in the water for 2 days, jumping off a bridge, it was very bad. Our minister offered to look at it, and the coroner says, you do not want to remember Mia this way.
The night that she jumped, I called her that day about 3 or 4 times, because we were going to go to the spaghetti factory that night. And Marlo and Al and I, and we said, oh, let's have Mia come with us. And she never called back, and that just was not like Mia, not to call me back.
5 times or
yeah, and I couldn't get a hold of her, and I hadn't seen her for a few days. And we went ahead and went to the spaghetti factory, and as we were eating at the spaghetti factory at 8 o'clock, she was jumping from the Coronado Bridge.
And if you know where the spaghetti factory is, you could have stepped out the front door and seen the bridge. We were that close to her. I don't know how much I believe in signs or things, but think about that. I thought we could have seen each other.
Well, Eric, I write for you and to you one last time. Right now I'm sitting on the love seat looking out the window, thinking of what's running through your mind. I feel so far away from you, mentally, that is. I remember when we could rarely have conversation without saying the same thing at the same time. Now we say nothing. I've learned so much. It's a pretty intense feeling how much life offers simply in one other individual. The whole process just purifies our motives. I pray that we will both be spared from now on the desire for quick results, from impatience, and from unreturned love that might turn into anger and resentment. We don't need any more bullshit. Would you please not get mad anymore and not think about all the bad feelings? I think I deserve at least to be just a bit well remembered. You went through a lot too. I hope you don't make the same mistakes, and that next time you're sharing your life with a person whose lifestyle you like. But don't be expecting to be free of hurt and pain. Being left with such low feelings only proves how intense the emotions really were. I will love you and think of you always. With much love, Mia.